Hello and welcome. This is the second part to the video in that of trading these smaller markets. In the first part, I talked about all of these topics in here. In the second part, I'm going to take a look at these close to 20 coins, every single one of these, the crosses against that of Litecoin. Within the video, from all of these coins from Sens all the way to D, I kind of want to buy two of them. I don't know what two I'm going to buy. So as I'm doing the video, I'm definitely, for myself, going to really consider which one's in the lead for the situation. In the third part, we're actually going to be buying those coins, buying some Komodo. That's a guarantee. I've already transferred Bitcoin over to my Cryptopia site so I can buy it on that site. I'll be buying some XZC on Binance and then sending them over to Cryptopia. So I'll show you how that works. And then be placing buy orders, sell orders, and show you the mathematics upon how it's done. And that's where we're going to go. So it's going to be a long standing video. The first video was a half an hour. This is like a good college day, if you will. Hey, you know what? This is the type of information people would actually pay decent amounts of coin to spend a couple hours at some seminar hall, or buy on video. And I could do something like this and put it out and charge people for it, or I could have like a Patreon account and this would be available for Patreon members. I'm not doing that. The only way I profit on this is that via that of the ad revenues, and it's not much. Videos like this is going to work out to about $1 for every 120 views I get. So I'm probably going to make like $2 or $3 on it. If anyone does send any gifts, I'd like to thank you for such. But yeah, that's the only way that I do it. It's free information, and that's basically that's how it works. Anyway, XBY. This is like my favorite code. And I am betting it relatively aggressive. I'm a big game player in this exchange, and I've just started playing it. I was a big game player back in here. I wasn't by the biggest by any means when I look at this volume. But I escaped away with good profit because within trading, when moves like this occur, you just profit take. And the reason why I'm showing you is that this is where the market was. So this got up to the 300,000-ish level. It was firmly over 200,000 for quite some time. And right now as we stand, it's at like 50,000. So let's just take a look at the market on this view from when this happened. Now the reason why this is like this here is because on Cryptopia they stopped trading the Litecoin exchange for several months, and then they put it back up and running at this point. So practically every code, I think anyway, has a cross against Litecoin. And in the last video I talked about not showing volume. This is one where it's needed. And the reason why I don't like volume is because it gets in the way of the spikes of the up moves. Sometimes I can't tell which one is which on it. But normally, and today included, you may see on these lower days that it's like only 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 Litecoin, or that it's 0.48, 0.76, and zero point 0.7 Litecoin is like $30 or something like 30, and it works out to like 30, 40, $50, $60 worth of Litecoin. I have highlighted for the statistics up here the date of November the 25th, where it had a high of 79,900, and it traded for 5,600 Litecoin. So the reason why these big sell orders work, even for codes that don't trade much, is because when someone makes the big buys and sells, that it takes a decent amount. That was a big one in here. And we can see there's been a lot of good volume days along the way. We also can see within this market that it has its movements. It goes from 75 down to 50, and then it goes into about the 25 to 30 area, back up here over 50. So a lot of good situations where when you're playing the market within the basic buy low, sell high, how you're able to get buy orders down here, sell here, and buy here is a possibility. Definitely selling in here. Yellow doesn't work. The next image, I'll get rid of it. I can put black on right now. So in here, the low, you're selling up here. You can put these two peaks in here. There's definitely buying there. So if you can get, oh, I don't like when that happens. Sell here, buy here. It's just easier for me to copy and paste the images. But definitely have your sell orders in place. So when you're buying at like 46,000 and you're putting sell orders in at like 60 something, these moves will always hit you as far as making your buys and sells. And then of course, this recent day getting up to 80, it meant you're selling at prices that never were existent, so you can buy it right back now and get profit. And now that I'm thinking about it, this volume isn't how many Litecoin, it's the amount of XBY that was traded. So it wasn't too much, but it means it only took, somebody bought it, moved the price up about 60% higher, and it only took 5,600 XBY to do such. And in looking at its order book, I of course consider myself one of the. I'm looking to sell 1,400 here and 4,100 here. So yeah, I'm the biggest player in the game now. But it only takes 4.5 Litecoin to move the price up to my 75,000 number. And the current price is roughly around this 48. I'm also realized that maybe I'll get the 47,000 number in. But whenever you see this, this means people will be looking, hey, I'm going to bid 47,112. And if you do it and you put a big order in, I might be in a bidding war against you. And if you put in like 100 or 300, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. So that's what I like about this. I look at this and I say I want to sell 57.2 just for price action purposes alone, because I'm going to look to buy that back south of 50. But if they break that, if somebody buys and fills this gap in here, then I'm next in line. And if someone happens to do it, then there's 4,150. And I would be looking, of course, to buy it back immediately at the cheaper price. The next chart I'm going to show that's not XBY is going to be denarius. And this is like that one I showed, the first one with the bidding war. There's a big difference with the bid and ask. But as we can see throughout the time, there has been several situations where this thing has had big up and down swings. So if you're able to sell near the 15 handle, there's a lot of 50% pullbacks, 100, 200, 300% moves over and over again. I'm not going to be getting into this one. Pro currency is next. And within such, it's those moves you can see there's been several along the way. Here, even, I mean, these moves in here that took place. This is 10 to 20. This is 100% differential, and it's not a logarithmic chart, so you can't see it as well. But these moves in here, don't know why it does that. They're real as well. This chart, just looking at the last little while or the last month and a half, it doesn't really do much. It doesn't move. Maybe you can pick away at a little bit here. Maybe it's still near the 20. Maybe you bought down in here. But there isn't too much. It's just holding, waiting for one of those moves to come into place for the most part. So playing codes like this, you're really playing for that big shoot move. So you put your decent sized sell orders in, like 30, 40 and above kind of deal. And I think you do the same on your buy orders, where you would play it down below. I'm not going to be buying this coin. DNA I'm going to just spend very little time with, but it's had interesting moves. You got this. We can see how 15 and 10, the decent sized volatility back and forth. Again, we can see this doesn't trade much, so I'm not going to get in this. Zero is next, and if I was a lower stakes player, I probably would play this. But the moves are nice. Consistently having, well, first off, we got this. nice place here. Decent amount here, but the range in this point, definitely able to pick away at some of the lows. Having this move here, this and here, and I don't know why it does that, the little arrows to the left. But I'm going to focus on those 2 days, which meant that there was some pretty decent gains here and here. I put the volume on this. You can see this as well. So it worked out that, especially if you were able to see this fast enough, that you got your sell orders in, you bought back. Even if you buy back at a bad price, you're getting a better price. Meaning, say you sold at the 10 number, and then you buy back when it's down here at like 50, then you can, when the real price, fair price is like 45 or whatever, 46. Maybe you're selling 1,000 and getting like 1,800 back, or you're getting 1,000 more back and you're profiting the Litecoin in exchange. And what you're going to have to do sometimes as well with markets like this is you get your sell in. Now you're going to have to take the Litecoin, sell it for Bitcoin so you can buy the zero back via Bitcoin. It's just because of how terrible and thin the buy-ask ratios are. But that's going to be a strategy definitely worth looking at when situations like this occur. But able to get it once, you get 2 days in a row on it. And then this move in here, you get some sales for sure because you're obviously buying at this level. So if you're buying there, you're selling up there. And then you got right now currently a nice little range bound market. But anything, if you're playing for anything more than like $40, $50, you're a decent sized player given how thin the buy and ask order books happen to be. So I'm not going to look into playing this. ZNY had one of these days in its earlier sessions, and now just looking at it post the fact so we can see what's happened since that point. And it's like the last code, $40. You're a big game player in this market, so I'm not going to get in. But it has a lot. Does nothing other than it. But this, and this. So it has a decent amount of moves. It doesn't do anything other than that. But every single time it does it, it does better than a 2x, usually about 3x move every time. Shard coin is another low stakes one as well. I can't play as for low stakes like $50, but if you're playing for like 100, 200, 300, then you're really gonna you're gonna stand out as just like I'm kind of standing out with XBY. Although my orders on XBY are for bigger level numbers, and it's a very solidly traded coin because we're going to be looking into some coins that are low volume, but they trade steadily on Bitcoin exchanges, and they're the ones you're going to look for. Like Komodo is going to be one, but yeah, this one here, low stakes. It's had a couple of these moves, nothing too fantastic. I don't know why I wrote this one down. Now this coin I'm seriously considering playing, however, that is CEFS, which is available for play at higher stakes. It's got decent movement because you have, the moves from May to August. It was a downtrend, but up and down moves. You have the one session in which it goes up to 25 like that. And when we take a look at the bid-ask ratio, I'm going to show you the bid orders. The thing of note, first of all, is that the buy is 11. The sell is 12.68. So I'm going to talk right now, and I'm not going to do this. The strategy of trying to be the winner, and this is you're definitely going to be in a bidding war in this game, where you're trying to buy at 11 and sell at 12.68. It's going to sell at a bit better volume than all the other coins that I've shown at. Again, you can sell it for a little bit higher stakes. And the differential's $1.60, so if you can get into that sale, that's pretty good. It also means if you're just trying to play it like I'm going to, and there's this one right now I'm going to star as in it's the best right now of one or two that I'm going to buy. But it's fair to state that the fair price is somewhere between 11 and 12.68, so maybe it's 11 and a quarter, 11.50, 12. 12.25, and that is of course taking the ratios together. So instead of buying 12.68, and I play for 2.5 Litecoin, so I'd have to buy it up past the 13. I mean, I'm only paying zero point 0.4 to go 13.5. I don't think so. No way. So the only two ways I can get into this code is one, put my buy order at the lower number, hope I get in. If I do, I'm in. Or I'm going to have to buy it against Bitcoin. And then from there, I would then put my sell orders in. I already have Litecoin already to put buy orders into place. And if you look at the top minimum trade, 0.01 Litecoin. So this is something you can play for a couple quarters, basically, at the current prices as minimum bets. Again, that's so low stakes. And for me, when I look at some of the other orders, so we already know the prices in the 11, we'll call it in the 11-ish range. Let's take a look at the bids going lower. And we can see the sum of the Litecoin on the right-hand side. The price is 11. So it gets into the 1 area at 10.5. I mean, that's not too big, but there's a lot of small players in this. So I would be an okay sized player, I would think. But going down to 10, it's still only at 1.3. When it's like this, there's got to be a buy wall or some higher somewhere. And ooh, look at this at 865. Someone wants to put a big buy order in. So therefore, what's above it? 236. So that's where you'd be looking to put buys at that level. That's, if they sell it down, just copy this one here at the 80 number. 865 or take the 875. Something higher than this. Because putting an order in below it at 865, 867, 880, that's just dumb. Unless, of course, you're putting a massive size order in. Bigger than that. But that's... So below that, it just stays in the 80s for a while. And that's it. And here we can see the same thing on the sell orders. So you have this number go from 2 into 3. And now you got a decent size order here at 1423. Or where is it here? There we go. Sorry, at 17.92. So big difference even from 14. This is an $11 coin. So now you're going to want to put your sell order probably south of this decent sized number where the person is trying to sell one of these coins. It's an expensive coin. But at 16 Litecoin, I mean, 30, 50 Litecoin volume, I mean, someone could easily do it. Now we got this 123 one. What's this price pivot point? 20. So, okay difference, but again, maybe you want to own the 20 even handle. And then it goes to 256. So you're seeing some at least decent sized numbers here. It's probably about the minimum type of stakes that I would like to see. Bitcoin Green is next on the list, and it's just got some nice interesting moves going from the 20 low up to the 60 high. And it has a lot of plays, the price action, again, just like the last one. Barely deep enough. We can see here, this is where the walls come into place, so you'd want to put your sell order in below the 61 number. As far as the buys, we can see that there's a buy wall in around here. So you'd want to be buying maybe a little over the 2 number, which is a nice difference from the 25. Next up is Ormi. You have this move in June. This move up here has some okay moves back and forth. I had a recent one as well. I'm not going to get involved in it. Next up, Loki. I don't really... It's, again, another very low volume coin. But within this, the price, 92.2 here to buy, 91.7 to sell. Not a big differential, but again, for me, if I'm going to buy 2.5 Litecoin, I'd have to buy it up to 147. Not going to get into it. NTRN, and interesting with the orders on this one, we can see the moves back and forth. They're having a few ones. I mean, these are definitely shit coins, and I'm not going to be getting into them really, but The ask we can see here 3-3. Oh, up to 5. Not much of a wall at 5 or 6. Progressing, and there's the 84 right there. So again, a spot you know where to put a sell order. And for the buys, the sum of Litecoin, there's only a total of 1.95. So if there's ever a coin you're trying to get a very cheap price on, maybe you want to stick an order in at the 1,000 number, 2,000, 5,000, 100, 20. Nobody owns anything below 83. It's a possibility, but I mean, that's really all I could do with it, is something like that. So what I could do is I could just click on one of these numbers. Go like, oh, or just maybe cancel the 2, 9, and the 7. Change the 1 to a 5. Where's my number lock not on? Yep. And maybe put 0.01 minimum bet. Heck, even 5. What? I only bought 0.1. How could I have bought any? Didn't I? Damn it. Well, I'll just try to get rid of it. I only bought 0.1 worth. Oh, jeez. I know what I did. Yep, I know what I did. I should have realized because I'm expecting a big number here. Okay, only 0.1. So what I wanted to do was just put that insane order in. So we'll do that this way. At least I only bought 0.1. So I would have bought it up to whatever the going rate is. So I would have bought it up to 32.4. So where do I want to sell this at? We'll just do 46. I mean, order history. I mean, I'm the only one that hasn't trained the Coon's age. Well, how much did it cost me? It didn't even cost me 0.10. It cost me point like 6, 06, 07. I was wondering why my sell order was only giving me 0.091. Okay. Well, it didn't really cost me much anyway. XMCC, not really liking that one either. Pretty much the same as that, but we can see here it had one of those moves though. But you know, just because one had it before doesn't mean it's the one you pick. Because it never had one like that before, and it did now, but obviously when they hit, they're nice to have. Now, Siren is next, and I've heard of this before, and I know it trades on other exchanges. But it's becoming live, as we can see, doing a whole bunch of nothing here, little bits. Had this one great buy order opportunity as it hit a low of like 9,500 or 409 or 301 when the price was worth like 201. So like a 10x move. But this is between 20 and 30, just chopping back and forth. So try to buy at 20, sell at 30, but I'm not going to get into this one. Now, Sens is an interesting one because you see this sell up here, you see this buy here, the sell you can get up here. Now just having a little breakout. So the chart market, the price itself of a coin, you could tell just by looking this is breaking out against Bitcoin. When looking at the orders in this, what you can see here is that not many Litecoin to buy. Sell, like a lot of other coins, nice sell wall going from 4 to 14. But also we look at market history. Today is the 2nd of December rather. So 600 today. We got I mean, really, we're looking for decent sized numbers. 160 also today. A few hundred in here, which is yesterday. Also yesterday there was a few hundred traded. Also yesterday a little bit here. So it's got a few trades. November the 30th, a few hundred here. November 30th, there's a few trades there. So there's definitely enough volume that makes it pretty okay. But I'm not going to get into it. XZC, I'm most likely going to get into easily because I can buy it on Binance as well. And within this one here, you can see the moves back and forth. So that's pretty good. It's going to move with the market as it is anyway. So if this coin has gains, I'm going to get my sell orders filled as it would, because people will just buy it up with good volume, because I might be forced into selling at a bad price. Meaning, I have an order to sell, say, at 27. And the market starts rallying against Bitcoin. XZC is up 20, 30, 40, all those great gains. And someone buys my 27 or 28 sell order when it's worth like 30, 32. But for what it's worth, that's what I'm hoping to get. Sell here, I'll put my order back below 20 and do all those kinds of things within it. We could also see this day here. So let's just scroll back and see. Well, you know what? Sometimes you get big gains, because this is a coin that was like around before 0.4 and it goes to 20. So you have an 80x return. So I just got to take a look at the volume on this just to see how many of these things went. Volume, let's find that high. And that doesn't make sense. How could the volume be 0.018 and go to 2.5? Anyway, either way, this coin does trade again on Binance, so I can buy it there. And it's whenever it moves up and down within it, I'm going to get my plays within such. Now Komodo is next, and it's a must play. Let's just take the volume. This is why I like the volume off, because now I can see these little pierces better. So all of these days in July, well, you play for those gains. You play for 40, 50, 60% returns. Today it's already spiked up to this 30 number. What's going on with Komodo as it is? So let me check that out for Komodo. And within such, this is a spot. The bid ask is, oh my, I'm able to buy, it's like I can only buy one. And then I got pretty excited because I see the opportunity to buy at 214, but one Komodo, I mean, really? What happened to get that number there? Because it hit that 50 number, or 30 number it said. Right here. So somebody bought, and see, I'm once I get in the game, I'm going to change it. But somebody bought 19 isn't that many, so not too much. But somebody, well, it was actually worked out to 28. Now, while I see this, I want to explain this, and really the number was higher than that. It's 9 plus, it's 30, 50. There was about 70. But when you look at what happens here, there was an individual who pushed the buy button in here, looking to buy 29.5 or so. But then someone came in and sell. I don't understand. Whatever. I don't understand how that, with 1 second left, I'm just going to forget about it. But it did go up to 30. But when we look at what the price of Komodo, it's like 1,800 and change. And if we do 123 times its value, that means we're looking at a 226 handle for the fair price. So therefore, within such, you can put buy orders in for 214, 215. I should put some in right now. Just, I mean, 205 is where I'll do it. I'll do that the next. No, I'll do it now. 205. And I buy for 2.5 Litecoin. Okay. So therefore, the reason why I'm doing this is later today, probably be in the evening session, like many hours from now. I'll be looking to buy it. So just in case someone's willing to sell it down there, I'll already have it bought in a little bit cheaper than I would be doing so within Bitcoin. But when these things move, they're going to have those situations. In this day here, we can see a spike goes up to high of 268 when the price was 200. That's just how that's going to work out. And there's going to be the movements that just happen normal. Komodo goes up 7 times and retraces. It's going to do that because as long as these coins have bigger moves than Litecoin, and Litecoin has its own moves, because it's always worth noting. Let me go back to this one in time as well. Like I started with Komodo. It goes way down. Now, why did it go way down? Anyone want to raise their hand and answer that? The answer was because Litecoin had a huge move. So all these coins were going down. So when I was trading back then, it was like buy order city and then sell. And I was a part of this one day here. I got the sell and came back. So you're going to have spots like this when the market's really get going again. So that's going to be the exciting thing of worth note. Just because it's not moving too much, it's not going to stay that way. Things are going to pick up. It's just, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, or next year. And when I say next year now, I'm pretty much saying 2020 because next month is next year. But next month, next 3, 4, 5 months, all that type of stuff. That it's going to go most likely and have some great gains. Upring is next, and this is a coin I'm already in. I got into this just recently. Got a low down here and a buy in here. And in fact, even if we look at the 2 week, I bought down in this low in here. So I got my buy down in here. So therefore, how am I playing this? Well, I got a sell order right here at 175. As I'm gonna, so looking at this, if they go into this big session, I don't want to sell below at 147. At 148, that's too low for me to sell. This is the general area where I need to sell. So basically, I look at it as in, maybe I'm not that big of a player if someone's willing to try to sell 8,975 of them there. Then I got another sell order for 30,000. Then I got another sell order at the 50 number for 840. And that's my final one. And then buy order. I'm looking to buy at the 75 handle. I mean, not much is going on. I'm looking to buy about a Bitcoin worth, or excuse me, a Litecoin worth. And then below that, I'm looking to buy at this 5,000 number. As I like the 2 orders. 5,000. Is that right? Yeah, that's not bad. Yes it is. Much lower than that. It's got to be like 10,000 at least, 15. Okay, so let's go north of the 12.5 guy. Let's do 120. Let's do 12,600. would be new 11,800. So the 1260 number that would be, that's still only 10 times off, so let's do lower than that. Let's get 75,000, 50,000, so 1,500, 2,000 in that area. Even 2,000 actually. Don't want to. I don't even have. I have 5 Litecoin to buy with, so it's not like I would be able to buy that. So let's buy about 0.6800 of them. I like my even numbers. But yeah, within these moves, I just want to take advantage as much of them as possible. And the final code is DGB. And I'm going to be real. I saved the best for the first and the last. Komodo, DGB, and XBY. XBY, of course, at the start. Of note, this day here, it had a huge pump. It did it here. Back in July. And this moves like a normal market. DGB is a huge traded fund. So there we can see. But look at how these moves even spread out on the intraday. You can't play for as big a volatility, albeit, but you can still play for some decent gains. You get a high on this day at the 45,000 mark, and that comes back down below 40 to 37 the next day. So that's about a 20% move. And then the market rallies that did it, so 35 to 42. And DGB isn't moving too much. If we look at this from the 1 year, we can see just last year how wild this market did move. I'm not too sure how high did this get up to. This was just crazy how high this did. But that's why you put those 6 sell orders in when stuff like this happens. It's magnificent. And then in here, the move this point in here, you got a low of like, what do we got here? 4,800. And then it starts rallying up to like 28,000. So just like normal coins that you want the 5, 6, 7x gains, you can do that. But since May, since this thing has happened with these types of spike moves that can occur, to me this is a must play. So I'm playing DGB not only against Bitcoin, but I'm also playing it here against Litecoin as well. So in the next part, we're going to talk about buy orders and sell orders. I'm going to buy some Komodo. Either that buy order will fill and I'll have it, or I'll just buy it manually. I don't think I'm going to get into any of those other coins, and that is unfortunately. But I am going to buy the XZC, so I'll show you buying at one exchange and transferring, especially for those who are new for stuff like this that don't really transfer coins on the blockchain. I'll talk about that and then put orders in for that, orders in for Komodo. And that will be part 3 and the final one. So thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.